am very happy it turned out.
Because there's probably so much litter that has accumulated over time that we can't actually see what's going on and how these trees are connected. But what do you guys think?
It's possible that they're two separate ones. There is a nice gap in the middle, but it could be that maybe there was a smaller tree in the middle at one point that connected these two. They are really close to each other.
This could also be the primary one, and then this made its own secondary.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. But this guy popped off this one. I had to stop because this tree is really impressive. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Really big diameter trees, and you can see the farther back you get to the center of the ring, so the older rings are much thicker, and the closer you get to more recent times, the rings get thinner and thinner, which means they grew less, likely due to less water, changing climate.
At Castle Rock, we have old growths that are probably the size of this smaller tree in front of this ring, in front of this bigger redwood. And that's because Castle Rock is not a redwood park. They just have a few that are in a drainage, so they're the only moist, really part of Castle Rock. So they're old growths that are really tiny, but you would never guess how old they are by the size.
And then you can see a whole new tree just sprouted, or two new trees just sprouted right off of it, which is really great. So even if a redwood, is cut or is burned, I think as long as the roots survive, it's got a really good chance of just sprouting right on back. So redwoods are really, really resilient.
Well, it's not a bad smell.
No, it's kind of almondy, kind of sweet, right?
That's not your hand?
No, it's actually the yellow spotted millipede. It will exude cyanide to protect itself from predators. And it smells, smell that, that's strong.
So when you use that in your coffee, be careful.
Yeah, it smells really yummy.
I don't.
So cute. Look at his super
Probably more than
organized
you want.
stuff. A yellow spotted millipede.
Yellow spotted millipede.
Millipede.
It reminds me of like an almond joy.
That smells good.
Nice.
Heroic.
And if you feel the leaf, it's really, really soft. So if you ever get stuck in the forest and you don't have any teepee and you don't have anything to use, if you need to go, this is the plant you want to find. because it kind of reminds me of home a little bit, where we have some of the largest and tallest trees in the world. And redwoods are not just known for being the tallest trees in the world, they're also some of the largest trees in the world and some of the oldest. And what's really cool about this remarkable specimen is that you can't really find them in a lot of places across the world. They can only be found from the southern border of Oregon down to Monterey County in California. That's the only 450-mile stretch in the world where you can find them. But at one point in time, the entire northern hemisphere was covered with trees that were this large. Well, the ancestors of these redwood trees. So I'm really excited that we're getting to walk through them today because, you know, it only took less than a century for nearly 96% of those trees to get cut down. So in, I think it was 1815 when California became a state, there were 2,000 acres of this old growth redwood forest, untouched, unlogged, mostly managed by the indigenous communities that have been living here for millennia. And as soon as humans came on over, they started logging these trees because they knew about some of the properties that made them an everlasting lumber. So these trees are pretty special because there's really not that many of them left. We only have about 4% of the original old growth forest, and the rest has been cut down due to logging. Yeah, well, it's kind of wild to think about. You know, we really did think that there was a bottomless pit of old growth redwood forest. And so it's really cool to see this little chunk of old growth here that looks untouched. These are the tallest trees on the planet.
The tallest, the biggest, and the oldest trees, all in California.
You got it, yeah.
So the oldest tree is the bristlecone pine, which you can see near Bishop, California, and the oldest one is what, like 2,500 years old?
I know, that's what we're so lucky here in California to have all these different trees. And what I really want to point out about this forest is that it is an old growth redwood forest, meaning it's never been logged, and there are certain characteristics that you can look at to determine if the forest is old growth. What you'll notice in a redwood forest like this is that it has a multi-story structure, so it has layers of vegetation. From the understory, we have, you know, your sorrel carpeting the ground and your ferns and your thimbleberries, to the mid-story where we've got young redwood trees. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we also saw some big leaf maples on the way over here too. And bay laurels, and in the overstory we have our towering redwoods, which share dominance with Douglas fir trees. All of this understory, they kind of shelter everything underneath, so they create kind of like a microclimate that helps regulate the temperature and the moisture in this understory, which helps to support everything that moves underneath it.
Oh, I was gonna say.
7,
8. There's one closer as well.
8, and 9. There's 9 freaking newts. Yeah, because I feel like now I have less.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Who's ready?
What is it?
It's Casbah chocolate surprise. It's
Surprise.
it is
Dried mango and dried pineapple with
chocolate on top.
Thank you.
Holding the
So-
spoon, as we say in my family.
Oh, sorry. We have another little special surprise here. I harvested some yarrow from our Half Moon Bay State Beach. So this is yarrow tea, and yarrow is a California native plant, and so is Douglas fir. And it has a lot of medicinal properties.